All right, good morning, traders. We're going to do some morning analysis, checking out normally what I do when I sit down at the desk in the morning, seeing how everything is playing out. It is Thursday, December 21st. It's about 9:30 in the morning. So the energy sector has been open for about half an hour. Obviously, it trades pretty much 24/7 on the Globex, or 5 days a week on the Globex, but the open pit session starts at 9 a.m. So we'll start in the energies. And also something I like to look at is FinViz has a free, it's delayed, but it's still good to look at this cool performance chart. So you can get a quick visual of how everything is lining up. So I can see the indexes, the indices, what's strong, what's weak. You can see everything is moderately strong this morning. Some approaching 1%, including the Russell. Energy, mostly weak. The only one strong is natural gas. We have our bonds. We don't trade softs, metals, mixed market, meats, which open at 9:30. Live cattle and feeder cattle, both strong, hogs weak. And then our grains. We trade wheat and the soybeans and soybean derivatives. So something I like to glance at in the morning. I do that mid-morning check-in, overnight check-in, see where everything is where the cards are laying. We have the market opening right now, so it should be an interesting time to flip through some charts. I don't trade the open. It's just too volatile and I don't have enough information. So I generally like to see how things pan out. If I ever do take a trade, because I see a really nice setup, it's usually on very small size, just one contract. You obviously have to give it a bigger stop. So we're going to start in oil. On the left here, we have the weekly VWAP. So this is anchored to the beginning of the session. Oh, there's Russell alert. It's approaching that level like we talked about. So we set an alert earlier this morning because weekly VWAP and this value area high was an interesting level. We broke right through it. I'm not going to take this trade. I would have liked to see some resistance there. It's just kind of taken off. Maybe if it retraces back to it, that's an interesting trade. So the confluence we're looking for is it's holding above weekly VWAP. So we're looking trades to the long side to value area high. On the right side, this is our session VWAP, anchored to the beginning of the session. This is our weekly VWAP level. So now that we're above value area high on the session, we're only looking for longs. This is price discovery on the session to the long side. We didn't really get an entry. We kind of did. I broke it and kind of sold off to it, took off. The open is very volatile. You got to be fast. So we missed that trade. Would have been a really nice one. All right, let's go back to what we're seeing in the energy. So as I was talking about, we have a weekly VWAP connected to the beginning of the session on Sunday night, opening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our VWAP on the week, and this is value area high, value area low. Some of the principles, if we break value area high to the upside, we expect price discovery to the upside, no shorts. If we break into value area high, we expect to go to VWAP. If we can get past VWAP, we expect to go to value area low. If we can't get past value area low, we expect to go back to VWAP and etc. So these are kind of our channels. And then if we break out a value to the downside, that's price discovery, no longs. Okay. Same concepts on the session. We do not take setups on the weekly VWAP unless there's confluence on the session. We take all of our setups on the session. All right. So same concepts apply. If we break into value, we expect to go to VWAP. If we break through VWAP, we expect to go to value area high. If we can't get through VWAP, we expect to go back to value area low. And then both price discovery up and down as we break out of value. So really, our longer term chart on the week is for confluence, not for setups. Setups happen on the session. So in oil this morning, we're breaking into value area low. We have confluence. We're heading towards VWAP. We are at the upper end of the session, so we kind of missed the entry. The entry would have been down here. But we expect as we break and hold into value area low to go up to VWAP. This would be our take profit area, which coincidentally is the same area as our weekly VWAP. So this is a great price target. Lots of confluence on this oil chart this morning. Now we didn't get the entry. It looks like it's going to play out really nicely, but that was the setup. Natural gas. Looks like we hit VWAP on the weekly. We bounced off, rejected prices, heading towards value area low. We also broke into value on the session, so we expect to go to VWAP at that point. That would be our price target. No setup. If we break through VWAP, we would expect to go to value area low, which is a great target because as you can see, there's confluence here on the weekly and daily. So if we can get past VWAP, let's set an alert. I like this trade for a short. If we can break below session VWAP and head south to this as our target point. All right, let's take a look at gold. We are in pure price discovery to the upside, holding above value area high, both on the weekly and on the session. So this is longs only, no real setup. Platinum bouncing off VWAP on the weekly, breaking into value area on the session. If this area holds here, this is also weekly VWAP. So if this area holds here, we can expect price to go all the way to VWAP on the session. Hogs and cattle open at 9:30. So we have limited information. We're on the upside on the weekly chart, so this is interesting. If we get down here, this will be a nice long area. We don't have that much information yet. It's only been open for 6 minutes, but it's holding VWAP on the session and above value area high. Right, so if this breaks back above VWAP, I'm going to give this a lot more time. I wouldn't take this trade yet, but if we break above that level, we can expect price discovery to the upside. Soybeans, price discovery, confluence to the downside, no setups. Let's take a look at ES. So we pretty much bounced off of weekly VWAP almost to the tick at this point. So we don't take trades on the weekly, but that would have been pretty much here. If you did want to take that trade, that would be you need to give it a wide stop. And we would expect to go to value area high, a return to value. At this point, VWAP, this is actually an interesting price level for a long. I'm going to set up a price alert. If we get back down there, I'll be looking for a long entry. We have confluence. If we can hold prices above value area low on the weekly and VWAP on the session. Russell coming back down to value area high on the daily. Big rejection candle though on this. I wouldn't take this long here. Maybe if we come back down and hold prices back to the upside, that would be more interesting. But this is like trying to catch a falling knife here. So that's a no trade. Too much momentum to the downside. Yep. Yep. I see that as a good trade. I don't know if they can hear this on the video. I just had Cash chiming in on a trade setup on natural gas. It's approaching our level. This would be a long off the session if it hold value. If it breaks right through, this is a nice short back down to value area low on both the weekly and the session. But we want to see what price does in this area first. And just to finish up, Nasdaq holding below weekly value area, weekly VWAP, and then value area high on the session. So this is an interesting line in the sand. We would like to see this either break or hold, long to the upside, short to the downside. That's our level. And then the Dow, we're approaching weekly VWAP. But we're in price discovery to the upside on the session. So we'd like to see us break over session VWAP here, and then maybe take a setup somewhere if we get a retracement back to value area high or something as the day progresses, but not a great setup. All right, so that's generally what I'm looking for. I go through all the symbols. What's interesting, where is there no setup? Where can I set price alerts? We have one on natural gas coming up soon. If it breaks this, I'm going to look to see it hold underneath session VWAP, or at least chop around a little bit, give me an entry and a clear stop out point before we head south to value area low. But that's it for now, guys. Hope this helped. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and look forward to future videos. Thanks so much. Happy trading, traders.